Hello, and welcome to today's training on how responsive caregiving in an early childhood setting leads to early school readiness skills. Training by Sharon Haynes and Frances Ferguson. My name is Sharon Haynes. I will be your narrator for today's training. What is responsive caregiving? Responsive caregiving relies on the staff's ability to create a secure environment where infants and toddlers feel comfortable to explore their classroom. This security is created through staff, where the routines of the classroom are well established and the materials are safe for the children's exploration. What does responsive caregiving look like in the classroom? Throughout the day, adult-child interaction should be warm, nurturing, and continuous. The staff should interact with the infants and toddlers at their level. Direct eye contact should be used in order to establish a security with the individual. Lots of smiling and laughing with the children in your care helps create the warm and trusting environment. Always allow the infants and toddlers to initiate play and take the lead in the activities. Staff are always there to support and guide the play. The goal of responsive caregiving is to create a warm and nurturing environment which enables school readiness skills to develop at a natural and child-directed pace. How is responsive caregiving accomplished? We must begin with the classroom environment. The staff are key to the classroom atmosphere. Through the use of body language, voice modulation, positive interactions with children, infants and toddlers feel secure to explore their environment. These type of interactions naturally create a warm and nurturing ambiance. The consistency of staff and routines are equally as important in the establishment of the security for the children. Developmentally age-appropriate equipment and materials allow the children to make choices, explore, and interact, which leads to the development of basic school readiness skills. All of this occurs at a child-directed pace. Responsive caregiving in infants and toddlers sets the foundation for the development of early school readiness skills. As staff observe the children in their classroom, they can plan the appropriate adult-child interaction to stimulate the interest and skill development. The interactions are then mapped out in the individualized lesson plans and group lesson plans for each child within the classroom. The initial observations conducted set the baseline for goal development for the next year. Every time a goal is achieved, the school readiness plan for the child is adjusted so that growth and achievement can be demonstrated. The goodness of fit model applies to the relationship between the staff, children, and the environment, and the ability to make adjustments in order to achieve growth. With social-emotional skills, caregivers must be in tune with the children in their care. Understanding the moods of the infant allows you to respond to his or her cues. This response eliminates moments of frustration and allows you to comfort the infant. Cues may be in the form of sounds, gestures, actions, and body language. By talking with infants and toddlers helps them express their emotions. Giving them a word or expression helps the children make the connection between sounds, feeling, and words. Through problem-solving techniques, staff are able to help young children recognize the feeling of others by modeling appropriate behavior. Staff provide guided practice on how to interact with each other in a positive manner. Creating independence begins with observing an infant and toddler and allowing them to interact with their environment. Caregivers provide opportunities for children to explore at will. Through trial and error, children will learn naturally. Language, literacy, and communication skills should be continuously occurring throughout the day. Infants and toddlers are small sponges absorbing everything that is being said along with the coinciding actions. Joint attention refers to the caregiver being observant of the children's interests and interacts with them appropriately. For example, a toddler begins to build a block tower. The caregiver would sit down on the carpet and talk with the toddler about their tower and then help him build it. Self-talk should occur throughout the day. Staff will talk with the children about everything happening during the day. A simple example of self-talk is, "I am going to put the blocks in the bin and put the bin on the shelf." Simply putting actions into words. Discuss the daily schedule with the children so that they understand the routine of the classroom. Use a pictorial schedule so that they understand the events through pictures. Be sure to give ample warning of transitions. Caregivers should be actively listening and responding to the children throughout the day. Young children must be exposed to literacy daily. Infants are never too young to listen to a story or to look at a picture book. Infants and toddlers should be exposed daily to gross motor activities in developmentally age-appropriate equipment. Children should have the opportunities to run, jump, hop, climb, etc. Fine motor skills and equipment such as crayons, puzzles, rattles, and stacking toys should be readily available at all times. This allows for free choice and independence. Art materials should also be available at all times. Open areas in the classroom should allow for infants and toddlers to explore gross motor movement activities such as crawling, walking, and hopping. By providing developmentally age-appropriate equipment, infants and toddlers are able to safely experiment with their surroundings. Infants need equipment which will enhance sensory skills through sight, sound, and touch. According to Piaget, toys such as rattles, soft animals, and dolls help develop the reflective stage of cognitive development. Through repetitive play, young children are able to experiment with trial and error to learn a new skill. Young children enjoy doing a new task, singing a song, or listening to a story over and over again. By repeating an activity, infants and toddlers build memory skills and attention span. Cause and effect is learning through the manipulation of toys and equipment in the children's environment. For example, children love to build block towers and then knock them down and repeat. Object permanence can be taught through various games of hide and seek. For example, hiding a favorite toy under a blanket, then revealing that the toy is still there by pulling the blanket off the toy. For infants, a simple game of peekaboo is a stepping stone to object permanence. Math skills need to be introduced verbally and through the manipulation of equipment so that the skill is committed to memory. Age-appropriate equipment needs to be openly available for infants and toddlers to select at will. One-to-one correspondence is easily introduced by pointing to items as they're counted. For example, when building a tower together, count each block as it's stacked. Simply performing finger plays with infants and counting the fingers as you're doing the plays together. The concept of volume is introduced to infants and toddlers through filling containers and dumping. This technique illustrates full and empty. Techniques such as more or less can be conveyed through the same method. Infants and toddlers learn compare and contrast through the exploration of textures of materials. Comparisons such as smooth, rough, or bumpy. Opposites are learned through the illustration of the differences of colors, shapes, and/or textures. Successful lifelong learning begins at birth and is fortified through positive and nurturing interactions along the way. An actively involved caregiver sets the foundation for the development and growth of early school readiness skills. Works cited. Thank you for participating in today's training on how responsive caregiving in an early childhood setting leads to early school readiness skills.